Well, hey, we're back. Woohoo! Good evening and welcome to another. I'm going to. I knew I was going to get sound on there. Sorry about that. Welcome to another edition of the Sunday. Get me teeth in. Sunday Bunch. Back for a brand new season. Dino, Terry, and Lee with us tonight. Dino, how's your day been?
Slow, typical Sunday. Just can't wait for the football to be back.
Well, the lower leagues are back. I had my first bet of the season yesterday, and we got a winner. Oh yes, Terry, how's your day been?
Champion, was the lower leagues back yesterday? I didn't even realise.
Well, they were. So there you go. You're sounding very, very distant in the background there as well. So either move your mic a bit closer, something like that, or good. There you go. That's better. And we got Lee over in Spain. It's the sun shining in Spain, Lee.
It is, mate. Yeah, I've had to put some sun cream on today, mind. 27 degrees, going to be a heat wave next week. And now I've been getting ready because I'm being taking a leaf out of Terry's book. Terry's inspired me by his stealth camping videos. I'm going to go car camping next week in northwest Spain. So cheers, Terry.
Enjoy.
Right. Well, it's warm over here, if that's any help to you. And we're getting a heat wave next week as well, I believe. So listen, we are live, which means you can join us via the live chat. If you want to have your say, already on there, Thomas Pybus is there. Las Palmas Mackham, who is normally first, but he's not first this week. John Parr is there. David Joblin, our very own Emma in there. Conspiracy FCFC, and Stephen Martin. Big shout out to all of you there. I've got to give a shout out to John. I don't know if that's actually John Parr who's commented, but John, who was in the garden today at the Philadelphia when we did our show, I said we'd give him a shout out there. So, brand new season. I don't know if you've watched any content on the channel in the closed season, but there was one where Dino got loads of flack for being Mr. Doom and Gloom. We'll see what he's like tonight. We're going to start with yesterday. We've had a few pre-season friendlies now. First one at home, Sunderland 0, Real Betis 1. Overall performance, Lee, what did you think?
I think, listen, we're still some way off the best, obviously, and we also have injuries. But you have to take a look at the teams that we've been playing in this pre-season. Real Betis finished 6th in the league last season, got to the Conference League final against Chelsea. They're going to be playing Europa League this season. And we got beat by a goal. Could have been 1-1 if that goal had stood for Adingra. Sporting Lisbon, do you know what I mean? 1-0 defeats, Portuguese Champions League. So we are playing decent teams, you know what I mean? So, and we're not getting dicked. We're playing all right. I mean, there's still a way to go. We've got some players to come back in, some players to come in, some new players, and we've still got to bed in the new players like Xhaka, like Talbi, Adingra, Diarra, Siddiqui. Some of them have shown signs, but listen, even though we've lost the last 3 or 4 friendlies, it doesn't matter. We're playing all right.
Right. Okay. John McGough, that's the John who was in the garden. All right, thanks for coming along today. So thanks for joining in there. Yeah, we'll come on to the new signings and the money what's been spent and what have you. Dino, yesterday, Sunderland got beat in another pre-season friendly. Your thoughts on the game? What did you think?
I think we played all right. I mean, Seville are good. They put out a strong team. They did have 1 or 2 young'uns in. I think that Ortiz on the right side give what's his name again? Harrison Jones a very hard time, but obviously we all know Jones isn't a left back. But obviously he done quite well considering.
Sorry, Dino, I didn't know Harrison Jones was in a left back. I didn't know where he played. So
no, he's a centre midfielder normally, right. But he played all right.
He played Seville either.
They're from the same city, but we played Betis yesterday.
Oh, sorry, Betis. Sorry, Betis. But I was very impressed with the centre midfield. I enjoy watching Xhaka moving around, passing the ball around, very calm, collected. I didn't agree with not starting Lafay because I don't believe Diarra should be behind the striker because he just didn't look comfortable there. And I was a bit annoyed that when he got brought off, he didn't even wait for the ball to come up. He just walked straight off the pitch. I was a little bit annoyed at that. The only issue I have is Talby. I think Talby's lacking a lot of confidence. He looks scared to run at a player. He looks very timid. He doesn't look like he enjoys having the ball at his feet. And that was the only thing what really annoyed us, really. But overall, I thought we passed the ball well. We didn't create a handful of chances, most of them were long range. But overall, I'm actually quite impressed with the team so far.
Right, okay. I've got to admit, I'm relying on you three for this. I was doing a wedding yesterday, of all things. Just very quickly before I come to you, Terry, on the chat. We've got people from all over the world tuning in, which is what we like. John Swinney, who's our friend in New Zealand, says, hi all, looking forward to the new season starting as we all are. Conspiracy FCFC says, all right, you bunch of handsome buggers. Vision Express for you tomorrow, I think. John Parr. Oh no, we've got Andrew Simpson, first of all, is down in Good day from Sydney. Can't wait for the new season to start. John Parr says, results don't bother me pre-season. We will get on to that. Terry, you watched the game yesterday. 1-0 defeat. What did you think?
I was really impressed, to be honest. I think it's coming along nicely. I think we've got a whole load of new strangers playing together for the first time. The fitness levels will come together. I think yesterday, Granit Xhaka looks, I don't know how we're getting this lad, but he looks absolutely awesome. Fitted straight in. Ronaldo is centre back, he's a left back. He looked really cool in his shoe in defence. We have the young lads, Harrison Jones, who will probably go on loan at some point. He won't make the Premier League at this moment in time in his career. And I think Dingle is looking really good. I think he's starting to pick up the bits. I think Lefebvre was rested because he's played a lot of pre-season so far, and he was sort of giving that game as a bit of a break. And they were looking at Diarra to see what he was like as a number 10, or in the middle there. And I think that yesterday I thought against a really good, real better side like I say, finished 6th in La Liga last season. I thought we played really well. The only thing is I think Mienda still needs to get a little bit more service, which is lacking at the moment, but I think that's because of a new midfield. It always takes wingers a bit more of a time to get into a new team, I think. I think Talby and I think Adingva do look decent. I really do. I think when you get a proper left back in there, like say, for instance, Serkin, who links up really well with the left-sided midfield, I think there's bags of improvement to come. And I was really impressed with how cool, calm and collected our new captain was, Granit Xhaka. Just everything seemed so easy. He made it look so easy. And his pass to Adingva, who actually was onside, which would have put us in front, I thought was absolutely superb, and the finish was great. I think at the moment we need a couple of centre-backs, because you can see at the back, we're lacking a bit at the back. That was the only thing with Harrison Jones and Ronaldo out of position a little bit. A couple of strong centre-backs. And like I say, when we get the new striker in, I think it'll come together very nicely. I think it's progressing really well at the moment.
Right, okay. Dino, you want in there?
Yeah, I think as well, substitutions-wise, yes, we only made 2 subs, and we did have quite a strong bench. I was a bit disappointed that he didn't take Talby off, because I really want to see what Roberts will do with a lot more of better players around him, the likes of Xhaka and Siddiqui. I'd like to see him in the squad around better players, because he was always in the second half squad where it was all young kids and stuff. And I felt a bit sorry for Dan Neil to not even get a little run out as well. I mean, you could have took Siddiqui off and give Neil a little chance to run around with the new centre midfielders. I just felt a little bit bad on the lads who actually got into the Prem just not getting a chance, because it looks like Neil's going to be getting phased out. And I think in the friendlies, I honestly think Roberts has performed better than Talby.
Right, okay. Just on the chat there, Dino, somebody agreeing with you. Ian says, evening lads, agree with Dino. Talby not showing anything yet, along with Lefebvre down there. So John Nesbitt says 2 centre-halves needed for definite. But if we don't get, we will be in bother, he's saying down there. I mean, you've mentioned Xhaka already there, Terry. I'm going to ask a standout performer yesterday. Before I do, though, we got over 100 people already on the stream. If you do us a favour, just hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. It'll take you a second to do that. If you're watching on a mobile and you got the live chat on, just close out the X in the corner and you'll see the thumbs up. Just smash that. Let's get these likes up. We like to try and hit 100 if we can on a Sunday. And of course, if you are watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's free to do so and it will help the channel out. Star performer, who impressed you in the game yesterday then, Terry?
Well, on about the Dan Neil situation, the Roberts situation, I was really pleased the lads who on the pitch got, the majority got 90 minutes because that was a good workout and that's what they needed. We've got the Premier League season starting in 2 weeks' time and we can't be too sentimental. It's nice to have these lads who's getting us promoted to the Premier League, but as every sport, some players have ceilings. And I do believe that getting someone like Granit Xhaka in with that experience, he was already a leader on the pitch yesterday. He was in people's ears. He just looked head and shoulders above everybody else in the park. And I know I feel for Dan Neil because he's a Sunderland lad and everything. And obviously I wanted to stay at the club and, be a substitution and come on and learn from Granit Xhaka because that's what he can do. He can come on, he can learn from the best and he can grow still and hopefully improve. But Xhaka yesterday didn't put a foot wrong. He didn't miss a pass. Dan Neil so far in pre-season, his passing's been, pretty poor to be honest. Whereas Xhaka yesterday, his passing was superb. So for me, he was the man of the match yesterday.
Right, okay. Before I come to you, Dino, I'll bring you next. Quickly on the chat, Paul P says, optimistic, strengthen the defence and attack, and he's happy. Some good creativity and passes yesterday. Xhaka is going to be the making of the squad. And the keeper looks an improvement as well. Ian, it looks like he wants a deal with you, Dino, because he's agreeing with you again. I'd like to see Roberts in with the new lads. And Dino, can I have your number? Oh, no, that's just made up. Dean, yesterday, star performer for... Oh, sorry, you was wanting to have you say...
Yeah, I'll do both. And I think star performer, I think everyone just seen Xhaka just looked a level above everyone. He looked calm. The couple of times where when he nearly lost the ball, he won it back. Nice. He didn't. I don't really think he really gave a pass away. But on with Terry saying about Neil not getting on, don't forget it's a squad game. We're not going to just have so we made 2 substitutions, so it's 11, 12, 13. So we're not going to have 13 players just playing all the time. I know you need to have Roberts still getting into the game to try and bed him in, still get his fitness up. You still need Neil because these are our players, and then you've got people coming back from injury. They're not going to have a pre-season, so when you're going to get them fit, so you need to get the players fit now who are on your bench, not just saying, oh, I feel sorry for Daniel. They need to get on. We need these players fit, ready, bedded in with the players, getting used to each other and stuff like that.
And that's exactly why we've got 2 games in 24 hours next week. We'll have 2 different teams out and they'll all get a game. They'll all get 90 minutes. And they'll all get some... What?
That's a bad thing, though. If you're going to do 2 halves, like if you're going to change the full team...
No. We should have 1 team in Augsburg and then play the team that played yesterday, unless we have, obviously, a new centre-back in and have a proper left-back where Ronaldo goes across. Then that the squad, for me, the team that starts against West Ham needs to really be starting against Real Vallecano for me next week. That's my idea. They need to have minutes together. They can't be strangers going into the West Ham game. Now, for me, I think Regis Lebris already sees his first 11, barring obviously a centre-back. We're missing. With Seals being injured again, we are missing that centre-back. I think that's where the centre-back comes in. And I think obviously with Lafayette coming on yesterday, he's pushing for that start as well. So I think next weekend we'll see what Regis Lebris' first 11 is going to go in against West Ham.
Right, okay. Let me quickly jump in on the chat then. John Nisbet says, remember, Talby is very young and not all will settle straight away, which is true. Ian Brown says Lebris is showing his ruthlessness, sentimentality, needs to go out of the window. Great to see from the club, which is good. John Nesbitt again, Dan Neil won't sign a contract, so it's goodbye. Plus, he's not good enough for the step up. Lee, standout performance for you?
I think, listen, yesterday was always going to be about Granit Xhaka, wasn't it, making his debut, but I think there are other players as well that deserve a mention. For example, the keeper, Robin Roof, who came in, looked kind of composed on the ball, didn't have a great deal to do, but he looked fine on the ball. considering that he only signed officially on Friday, so he came in. Reynaldo, he's a left back, but you got to play at centre back. I think he's going to be a very important player for us this season because he looks fast, he looks powerful. I think on the left wing with him and Adingra, I think we could be a big threat. And then the player of the pre-season seems to be Noah Siddiqui. He's had a very good pre-season. He looks like he's played himself into the starting lineup for the first game against West Ham, where it looked like he could be the one that might drop out with Xhaka, Diarra and Lafille, but it looks like he might have cemented his place there. So, but yeah, Xhaka, I was watching the match on the Real Betis YouTube channel because it was for free over here. And even the Real Betis commentators were saying, like, Xhaka just looks like a class above. He's talking to the players. He's everywhere. He's in the best positions. He sees passes there that people don't see. So when you get that from an opposing team, you think, well, we've got a player on our hands here, and he could be pivotal to our survival.
Was it in Spanish?
It was, sí, señor, yeah.
Terry?
Yeah, the only little niggling issue at the moment, obviously apart from centre-backs, is scoring goals. We need to score more goals. And hopefully that'll come when they find a way to feed in Mienda more. Or if we get this new striker in, this lad on loan from Chelsea, because I've heard he's pretty much like he's quite a stocky young lad who gets stuck in. So we need to feed. Obviously, we need to score goals to win games, simple as.
Right, Tino?
Just a quick one. I mean, we say about player of the game. For me, I was watching Isco like a hawk, and I thought Isco was unbelievable. Like I'd love a player like Isco. He was everywhere. You could just see he's played at the highest level. Like maybe one of the better players to play at the Stadium Lights. He was unbelievable. I was just watching him. He was just gliding through, lovely passes. He was just running the show. Like I'd love a player like Isco.
That's where
definitely their man of the match, their player of the match. Easy, are you right there? Like
it's where I do my shopping every week. I didn't watch it, so I don't know. So I'm relying on yous. If David Budding says if Dan Neil isn't going to sign a contract, need to move on. I think with Dan Neil, I mean, great that he's one of our own and all that, and it would be nice to see him sort of step up. But I think he wouldn't be more than a fringe player anyway. I mean, having said that, I would be interested to see if taking the captaincy off him, to give it to Xhaka, that there's no doubt in last season his performance was terrible, and it just coincided with him having the captaincy, and whether or not taking that burden off him got him back to a better player or not, I just don't know. Anyway, look, we've got 137 people on the stream at the moment. 53 likes. Just hit that thumbs up for us. We'd like to hit 100 is what we like to do on a Sunday. So do that. And don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's free to do so. And we will love you forevermore. Right, Emma's saying, why player of the game? It's man of the match. I didn't realize I said player of the game. I'd said standout performer is what I'd said. But we always say man of the match on here. You know that, Emma. Because even when we're referring to you, we refer to you as a man because you're one of us, aren't you? So there you go. Quickly got out of that one, didn't we? Right, so how important are these friendly results? Because we got, there's a few not gone our way. And, our last starts laughing. And I go, oh, friendlies, man. Then for now, it doesn't matter. So how important are the friendlies, actually? The results, should I say. Lee?
Not really important, no, Philly, because I was in Spain last year when we played Forest and then the Spanish team Eldense, and we were awful. And in the end, we got up through the championship playoffs, didn't we? So it was irrelevant. No, I think it's good for fitness, and we've got a pretty much new starting 11 coming in. These guys need to get used to each other. The only downfall of the pre-season was the game against Hearts, which was probably the most disappointing to lose like that. I think that was an eye-opener for some of the players as well because of the aggression that they have to face in British football. We've played European teams, strong European teams, and we've done all right, but we seem to have struggled against aggressive teams. So, and like I said before, we're still missing players like Sirkin, O'Nien, Isidore hasn't played much, Elise, Rig. Now, we've still got all these players to come into the squad to add some depth. And a lot of the pre-season friendlies, apart from yesterday, we've only been playing like a full strength team for 45 minutes and then changing everything up by making 10 changes. So no, I'm not worried at all. I think we'll get there. We'll get there in the end.
Right, okay. I mean, Hearts, to be fair, I think they were 1 week away from the start of their season. And I mean, they did play it like, it wasn't played like a friendly, but still. Just very quickly, I want to bring some people in on the chat before we pass this round. Conspiracy SAFC says, wouldn't shock me if Dan Neil went to Borough if they sell Hackney. Emma is grassing Dino up somewhere, saying it was you, Dino. He said player of the match, apparently. So she's grassed you up there. Tam says the Chelsea young lad is due to fly up today and sign on loan. But for whatever reason, he didn't get on the plane. So I don't know. I don't know much about this guy. I know he only got a few minutes last season for Chelsea, but who knows? Jim Buck says Dial Huggins, that must be Niall Huggins, has been brilliant in pre-season, and don't write off Patrick Roberts, which is what you've said, Dino, already. Terry, how important are the results in the friendlies?
It's always nice to win games of football, but let's face it, do we have this discussion, the same discussion at the end of last season? How important were the games leading up to the playoffs, and the players didn't really want to sort of get themselves injured or hurt themselves or whatever that is. And the same mentality from Regis Labrie probably goes into these games. He's probably saying, Hearts are 1 week away from the start of their season. I don't want no of these millions of pounds worth of players injured before the season even starts. It's about getting fitness. It's about getting used to the team. It's about, the coordination and just getting used to. It's like an island of strangers, a player of strangers, isn't it? They all knew. And it's going to take a while to bet together, and we've got only so many weeks, and each week it seems to be getting better. I thought yesterday was the best display, and I'm hoping next week's even better. But yeah, I mean, it may even take a few more weeks into the Premier League season before they really start gelling together. But with Granit Xhaka yesterday, I mean, he just looked totally in control of what was going on. Like I said, he'd be in everybody's ears. He'd be teaching them all and giving them his experience. He's been there, captain of Arsenal, and he's been the World Cup with Switzerland. He's got bags of experience, and all the players are going to learn. And I think it's looking pretty good at the moment. I mean, some people are down in all the doom and gloom as to do with the results, and that I see it the way around. I think it's I think once we buy another player, we've spent the most money out of all the teams promoted to the Premier League throughout history. And the top two teams that were promoted to the Premier League who spent more than us at this moment in time were Nottingham Forest, who stayed in the Premier League, and Aston Villa, who stayed in the Premier League. So I think we're doing it the right way. I'm just hoping it all moves off well.
Right, okay. I'll bring you in just now, Lee, because I know you want in there. John Swinney says the lad from Chelsea's flight got cancelled, apparently. So, Lee, you was wanting to jump in there?
Yeah, I think as well for these friendlies as well, when you've got like not much atmosphere in the stadiums, I think like players perform as well when there's a bigger atmosphere. There's a difference of having 14,000 like there were yesterday, I think there was, to 46,000, and the game actually means something. So yeah, I think when we come West Ham, we'll be up for it. We'll be there.
Right, okay. Paul Havelock says friendlies are like taking a shower before you get in the bathtub. So there you go. Dino, you don't bath that often, do you?
No, only in ponds, mate.
I've had you around our house, and I'll tell you what. Whoa. Dino, how important are the results then in these pre-season friendlies?
I mean, it depends. Like, if you're getting smashed off, like, say when we got beat off Hull, for me that mattered because Hull are a division below. I know we changed the team at half time, but we got beat that game, didn't we? 2-1? Was it 2-1?
We did,
we got beat only off when we changed 10 players and brought kids on. Before that, we were leading 1-0 and we gifted them a goal. The FA gifted them that goal. So really, we should have been leading 1-0 before we made the subs.
But it's mainly about just doing this stuff different on the pitch, tactically. It is about getting fitness, but as long as we're playing well and I would say we are playing well. I mean, I would say the midfield is Premier League standard. I would say the left wing is Premier League standard. The goalkeeper now, I mean, he looked quite good. Yes, he didn't have a lot of shots to save, but he looked quite demanding in his box. He looked very comfortable with the ball at his feet. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him and Patterson, who's going to be number one and who's going to start, but he looked good. It's mainly just about getting to know players, getting your fitness in. Yes, don't get smashed, but be competitive at the same time. And I would believe, apart from the Hearts game, we've been competitive in every single friendly. We've given a good account of ourselves. The only thing is we're not scoring goals. That's always a worry because scoring goals is one of the hardest things you can do. And we're not, I think we've only scored, well, we scored 4 against Shields, I believe, and so many against Gateshead too. But against the bigger teams, we've only scored 2 goals.
Right.
That's a bit of a worry.
All right. Just very quickly, we're trying to get you to we're trying to get to 100 likes, and at the moment we're on 69. Hey! So I know I'm such a child. If you can just hit the thumbs up, we'll take a second to do that, please, and let's get us to 100. Come on. Right. Okay. That was a jumper. Says we should have the same buzz as the players come to the stadium, like the second leg at Coventry for the first match of the season. We're all massively looking forward to that. Sold out weeks and weeks ago. The atmosphere is just going to be tremendous. Can't wait for it. We've got these new signings. I'm going to ask you in a bit. I'll come to you first, Terry. We've got these new signings, and I will ask you before the end where you think we're going to finish in the league and stuff like that. However, I must say, if we do get relegated next season, you've hats off to the club. The people there are massively going for it. I don't think any of us on here or any Sunderland fan could have, imagined that, this money was going to be spent, because it's not the Sunderland way. And it's absolutely brilliant. It's so exciting. All the fans are excited for the new season and stuff like that. And even if we get relegated, you cannot knock the hierarchy at the club for giving it a go, which is what they've done. Right, Terry, you was wanting to jump in there.
Yeah, I think Robin Roofs is the one that starts the season. I think I heard yesterday on the live stream that Patterson won't even be fit or ready for the start of the season.
Right, okay. Just quickly on the chat, Adam French says, top 10 finish this season, Mags get relegated. Right. I will tell you, I have put 20 quid on Sunderland to finish in the top 4. I know it's just one of them throwaway bets. It's laughable, of course it is, but I have got a bet also for us to finish in the top 10. So we'll see how that goes. Right, new signings now. You're going to have to educate me on these, because a lot of these have happened when I've been sort of running about doing all sorts of things. So we've got the new goalie. Do we think then that Patterson's going to be away, or do you think we'll get him fit and he's going to be number 2 and fight for the number 1 place? Terry?
I don't know exactly what's going on with Patterson at the moment. Apart from some sort of hand injury that won't be ready until after the season starts. So if Robin Roof starts the season really well, then I'm sure he'll keep his place until he makes mistakes.
Right, okay. Yourself, Lee? Robin Roof?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've spent some decent money on him. So Patterson hasn't played at all. There's been no news on him. There's rumours flying around social media that we won't get into, but I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But I think the fact that Roof came in on Friday and started on Saturday, I think that would suggest that he would be number 1 for the first game of the season.
Right, okay. Number 1 for you as well, Dino, Robin Roofs?
Well, Ian, I'm doing your job here, Philly. Ian keeps saying that Patterson's not injured, and so obviously something's happening with Patterson if he's not injured. I mean, I'm sure there was the camera went to him at one of the games, and he was just sitting there on his phone. I've heard he done a mad statement about the club, and it all got deleted and pushed under the carpet. I don't really know, but I think Patterson's a little bit miffed for some reason, for whatever. So with what Ian's saying, I think he might not even play forward again, depending on what the situation is. But for me, Robin Roofs will probably start. Like Lee said, he's come straight in. I mean, even Moore didn't even get a game yesterday. Do you know what I mean? So that, for me, shows that we're going to gamble Roofs. If we're bringing another keeper, maybe, you know, like...
We're going to need another keeper. And you'd think Pato would be, you know, happy to, you know, it's Premier League now, you know, it's everybody... I mean, I'm going to get onto it anyway about players we've already got. John Swinney says Pato is going to need an operation, apparently. Terry, you're one in there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to defend the club here. I don't think what's going on with Patterson has anything to do with the club at all. I think, obviously, there's this hand injury. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. The club's very quiet about the whole situation, so we'll wait and see what happens. But I think Robin Roofs is being brought in to be the number one at this moment in time. And if everything gets sorted out with Patterson and he comes through with whatever's going on, I'm happy for him to be the number two and fight for his place to be the number one as well, of course.
Right, okay. Granit Xhaka, then. Midfield, has he got I need you to fill me in on. So has he got a preferred side, left, right, or is attacking midfielder, defensive midfielder?
Sitting centre, like Dan Neil's old position, just sitting in front of the back four.
Right, okay. And captain, is he going to be our new captain then? Is he getting that? Is he getting the armband?
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
right.
I'd be miffed if I was Dan Neil, to be fair. I mean, I know Xhaka's a quality player, but to take the captaincy off the local lad midfielder and just give it to a lad who's just come straight in is a massive thing to do for the club. It really is. And
I think that's what he wanted. I think that was part of his contract. He wanted to come in as captain, simple as. And if you want a player with that quality and that look at, you know, we're in the Premier League now. There's me mucking about. If we want to survive in the Premier League, I end up with like Southampton and other clubs that just get relegated again. We'll just stay in the old stigma. We've got to improve the squad massively throughout the whole of the team. And it's a ruthless business, whether you like it or not. You know, there's some players I've loved over the years that have been sold, and I wish they hadn't have been sold or hadn't have left. But that's just football. And Dan Neil, I would like to think Dan Neil, you know, is that intelligent that he would say someone with the quality of Xhaka that comes and says, right, I want to be taken under his wing. I'm going to learn from one of the best players out there. Been there, won the FA Cup, you know, he's been to the World Cups, he's captain of Switzerland, captain of Arsenal, he's won the German league, he's done it all. If that was me, I'd want to just soak up everything that he has, take it all in and learn from the best. Simple as. It wouldn't bother me one single bit if I had the armband taken off me. I'd say, there you go, have it. I want to learn from the best and improve my game and play for the side I love.
Right, hang on, Dean. I'll bring you in just now. Emma's saying, is the captain thing set in stone? So Xhaka being captain, is that set in stone? Also, Richard Waite says, Pato hurt his wrist in Portugal, which is funny because I hurt my wrist in bed last night somehow. Dino, you one in there.
I mean, I'm not bothered about the captain thing, but you've got to think about Dan Neil. Come through the academy, never probably thought in a million years he'd be playing for Sunderland as captain in the centre, and then all of a sudden someone just comes in and you're not captain no more. I mean, I know
doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
To you it not. But
no, it won't matter to Dan Neil either. It really won't matter.
You don't know that.
He loves the club. He'll understand. He's only a young lad. He's 32-year-old player comes in with all that experience. Dan Neil will soak it up. You know, he's a clever lad. He'll improve. He'll improve his football for this. I'm telling you now, he'll become a better player. If he stays at Sunderland, he'll become a better player with Granit Xhaka being there.
How old's Dan Neil? Is he 22?
Googling it now. Hang on.
21, 22, something like that.
21, 22, right?
He's 23.
23. There you go.
In football years, that's not that young. Since he's been playing for the last 3 years, so he's an experienced head now. And just take the captaincy off him, and then he's going to probably get dropped. He's not going to be playing anymore. He will be livid. He'll be fuming because you've got Siddiqui come in. Don't forget, players back themselves. Do you not think Daniel's sitting there going, I'm better than Diarra, I'm better than him, I'm better than him? I don't
think so. I don't think he's that big-headed. I think he'll say to himself, right, I have been off my game a little bit. I'm going to knuckle down and prove them wrong. That's what I want to say, that mentality of knuckling down, getting stuck in and proving people wrong and getting out there and say, I've improved my game and I'm going to learn from the best. Simple as. That's what I would do. I've been there, done that myself. And that's what you do. You learn from the best. You don't
But you
go
don't have
sulking
to.
around. You don't sulk. Simple as. You're either good enough, you either get better, or you just stay at the level you're at. Simple as.
You don't have to take the captaincy off
No
him,
point
though.
crying about it. You kind of cry about
Yeah,
it.
but to be fair, Dino, to be fair, what Terry's saying, you only improve yourself from people better than you.
Exactly.
You know, and because otherwise, you know, if somebody's not as good as you don't really learn anything from them. So I know
There's always somebody
you're
better
saying,
than yourself.
You're saying,
Yeah, but you don't have to take captaincy off him, though. You can still learn off Xhaka. You don't have to take the captaincy off him. But I mean, last season we had Luke O'Nien and Dan Neil. One was club captain, one was captain on the pitch.
But
now
there's no
you've just took all
guarantee.
that
There's
responsibility
no
off Dan
guarantee
Neil.
he's going to be good enough for the Premier League at this moment in time.
But you haven't given him a chance. He hasn't had a chance.
The captain's armband was a millstone around Dan Neil's neck. It's the worst he's played since he's had captain. I want to stop there because I want to bring Lee in because he was waiting to get in there. Go on, Lee.
No, I think like what Terry says makes sense, but Terry, like nowadays, that generation of human beings aren't like that. Do you know what I mean? They're not like us where you see a person coming in.
Dan Neil's down there. You do.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't know. No, you
don't-
can't say that because you don't know.
But
I really
I think
honestly do.
in general, the generations nowadays, they won't look at a player coming, he's better than me. I'm gonna work him hard and I'm gonna live up to the challenge. They'll just say, "Fuck it, I can get a better deal elsewhere," and that's what I'll do. And I think that's what some of these players that got us up from the Championship might think, that Jesus Christ, they spent 15, 20 million on this guy. I've got no chance. So instead of like going and challenging for their place, they'll just go for the easy exit, because nowadays football nowadays, right? Listen, there's no loyalty in football, isn't there? I mean, if a player gets a better offer or a bigger club, they'll piss off, right? So why isn't it fair game for clubs to do the same if they get promoted and they want to kind of guarantee themselves? I mean, Philly, I saw a post on social media yesterday, which is like, there was one fan, he was like disgusted that all of these young players, Patterson, Neil, Rigg, that they got us up from the Championship, from League One, and they've been cast aside. And I was thinking, well, they're not going to see them in the Premier League as much as they would like. But I was thinking, what do we want? Do we want the best for Sunderland AFC? Or do we want the best for them?
Well, exactly. But like you say, I mean, these young players, I mean, the likes of Chris Rigg, you know, a young player, you know, will come on leaps and bounds from playing with these sort of players, these experienced. Well, it's a step up, you know, and they'll anybody who's good enough, the likes of Chris Rigg and stuff like that, will get into the team eventually. He'll work his way in and he'll improve having these players around him. And we'd all love to see. I mean, I'd love to say, I hope Luke O'Nien at least gets a game in the Premier League somehow. But you know, I mean, it's like you said. It's we are doing what's best for Sunderland Football Club, not for the players. It's, you know. So go on, you was wanting back in.
No, I think Luke O'Nien is the prime example, isn't he? Because he's one of a dying breed. That he came from League Two, League One, joined us, had a difficult start, played number 10 or attacking centre midfield, and he's ended up a centre back. No matter what challenge has been put in front of him, he's always overcome that challenge, and he's been the shining light. And it wouldn't surprise me if he does all right in the Premier League.
Yeah, Dean.
Look, I don't disagree with the whole, like, people taking over, like coming in and going straight in and you're not good enough. But like Dan Neil would have, when he was 16, 17, would have been watching Xhaka playing for Arsenal, captain, and going, oh, I'd love to play with him. And then he's getting replaced by him. And then Xhaka doesn't have to be the captain. You can still give that responsibility to Dan Neil. You don't have to take that, unless they've had that conversation saying, right, Dan, we're bringing in Xhaka, he's going to be club captain. And as long as that conversation was had, but if they didn't have that conversation, they just said, right, Xhaka's captain, you're not, done. I think that's a bit.
But they probably have had that chat anyway. You know what I mean? It's
But this is the thing. I don't understand why he couldn't get on the pitch yesterday. It's a friendly. It doesn't matter. Let him go on. Let him have a play about with the newer players. The better players are going to be right, and they just didn't.
But why? What's the point?
Because he's still part of the squad. You can't just say, "Oh, don't play him because he's not good enough." How do you know?
Yeah, but look, we are trying to get the team ready for the Premier League, which kicks off in 2 weeks' time.
The subs don't matter. So the subs don't matter. Just let them not be fit.
The thing is they need 90 minutes, you know, and you know, if Dan Neil's not part of his immediate plans and he's sort of on the fringe of it, why bring him on just for, you know, sentimentality, which is not, you know, not what it's about. You've got to be tough.
Because look at your centre mids, right? You got Siddiqui, Lafi, Xhaka, Diarra. One of them two gets injured, you need someone else to come in the place. But Dan Neil's not going to know how you're going to play if you're just not going to play him on the bench. You're going to be sitting on the bench going, it's a friendly, I can't even get on. Same with Roberts. I'm looking at Talby. You know, I think Roberts sitting there, get me on that pitch. I can do better than what Talby's doing at the minute. And they're just not giving him that opportunity.
Good, because that's what we need. We need strength and depth, and we need players who are going to go, I'm better than that. I can do that, because it's going to make them train harder, play harder, and we need people pushing for each position, and that's what we need. I'll bring you in, Lee, and then you, Terry. Lee?
No, I think, Dino, I understand what you're saying, but Dan Neil's entering the last year of his contract, and the negotiations have been going on for a very, very long time. And the club had to make a decision and say, listen, we can get Granit Xhaka, but we've got to give him the captaincy. We've got Dan Neil, who won't agree a new deal, so it seems. He's entering the last year. We've just got promoted to the Premier League. We need to make a decision. And I think the club have basically said, okay, we're going to sign Xhaka. We've got the captaincy. Dan Neil, you're in the last year of your deal. You can either sign and you can fight for your place, or we will sell you. I think that's just the way football is nowadays.
Well, I didn't realise he was on his last year, so thanks for that. I didn't know he was on his last year.
Yeah. Same with Serkin. Serkin's in his last year as well.
Terry, you was one then?
Yeah, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Dan Neil may want to leave. We don't know. Dan Neil may not want to sign a contract. We just don't know what's going on. But I've got to take it at face value. The team that started yesterday seems to be the strongest team we have at this moment in time. And like we say, we can't start the season and the team can't be ready. We've got to get the team. Regis Lebrie's job is to get that first 11 as fit as possible, and stick up the same hymn sheet and working together before the season starts. And if it means that, you know, the likes of Dan Neil and Roberts might not get as many minutes at this moment in time, then that, for me, the only way the team can be ready for the start of the season is by playing minutes together. And that's his first team. And I agree with what he's done so far, I really do. And my hand on my heart, I honestly think that at this moment in time, I don't think Roberts will be good enough for the Premier League, but I hope he proves me wrong. I think Dan Neil's a little bit below the standard of the Premier League, and I hope he can learn and prove me wrong. But we've got to start the season on the front foot. We can't be going into this West Ham game and getting beat 4-5-0 because we haven't prepared the team ready for the game. It's all about preparing the team ready for the start of the season. And I think this game and the two next weekend, Regis Lebrie, you know, he knows exactly what he's doing. We all doubted him. We had our doubts when he did the back end of the season. We're saying, oh, why is he not winning these games of football? He proved us wrong. We've got to believe in the system, believe what's going on. And I think he's doing exactly the right thing now for the team.
Dino?
I just want to ask Terry a question. So you're telling me you don't think Roberts is ready, which he may not be, but you're telling me Talby's ready for the Premier League, because what I've seen, I've not been impressed with him whatsoever.
Honestly think Talby's better than Roberts. I think Talby's played better than Roberts. I think the wingers take more time. Wingers are the last players really to sort of get up to speed with the whole group. And that was coming off some really knowledgeable people I was listening to. So they obviously know more than me. And I think Talby, I know he's sort of, out of all the players that have come in, he's the one that struggled the most. And I still think I would still go out and buy another right winger. We need another winger in case Dingra or Talby is not ready. We do need another winger. We need two centre-backs, a winger, and obviously the striker. That's my opinion.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat here, because we're talking about Roberts. Chester OTT says Roberts isn't and has never been good enough to play top level. His attitude and physicality has always been against him. Ahmad made him look good. Before I bring you in there, Lee, we're on 93 likes here. We like to hit 100 if we can. We've got 240 people on the stream already. Hit that thumbs up. 7 of you. Let's get us to 100 if you can. Lee?
No, I think on the topic of Roberts and Talby, I think if you look at both of their stats, they're not prolific goal scorers, either of them. What their strengths are assists. And Talby's had Champions League experience. Roberts has played at a high level. I think both of them will be fine for us, but I wouldn't be expecting lots of goals from them. Whereas on the left-hand side, when you got Adingra and Mundle have scored goals, and they do get into good positions to score goals. So I would say Talby, and then going back to Dan Neil, they do know the way we play. Whereas Talby and the other lads and the other new lads, they're still learning how we play.
Right, okay. I'll go on, Dino, go on.
Just a quick one. Right, so, yeah, Talby's quicker than Roberts, yeah, but he's not better on the ball than Roberts. I've watched them two when they've swapped positions when he's come off and Roberts come on. I've been more impressed with Roberts in a worse team, don't forget, because he's been playing with all the kids and the lads who have been left out a little bit, than Talby, who's been playing with a full-strength team. I would love to see Roberts play in the team with the full-strength team just to see how he would be, because I think Roberts gives you energy coming back defensively. He's better on the ball than Talby, what I've seen at the minute. Yeah, he doesn't score a lot of goals, but he makes things happen. He gets past players. I haven't seen Talby even take on one player yet.
Right. Okay, let me, because we've only got 15 minutes left on this, and I'm trying to get up to speed with all these new players coming in because I have been out of touch with it. Simon Dingra, is he a left winger?
Yeah.
He's left wing.
Yep.
And Talby right. What about Siddiqui? Is he a left winger? Is he centre mid or what is he?
Who?
Centre mid. Siddiqui.
Centre mid.
Oh, Siddiqui, I didn't hear him say his name.
Right, okay. I thought I'd heard he could play out on the left, but right, okay, fair enough. Right, so what positions do you think we need to strengthen then? I mean, we've brought all these new players in. The kid from Chelsea, am I right to think he's a striker, isn't he? Yes?
Yeah.
Right, okay. What do you know of him? Is he pretty good? Would he be? I know it's a loan signing, but anybody got any info on him?
Basically, he's a bit of an unknown quantity. For me, he can't be any worse than Mason Burstow. I hope he's got a bit about him. He looks tall. I think he's got a hat-trick in the conference, the Europa Conference. But again, he hasn't had much minutes, so he's a very unknown quantity. So just as long as he's got a bit about him, I would have preferred to get someone else in who's got a bit more experience behind them. But it's a bit of a shot, just hopefully he might be good. We'll see. That's what it looks like to me.
Right. Okay. So what positions need strengthening? Just very quickly on the chat, people coming in here. Centre backs, please. 2 centre backs and a striker. 2 centre backs, 1 striker, right winger, and a goalkeeper if Pato's injured. 2 centre backs, therefore. Seems like we need a couple of centre backs. Terry?
Yeah, definitely 2 centre backs, and obviously the striker from Chelsea. Chelsea are not giving us any options to buy him, so they must like him. He's came from Barcelona through the Barcelona Academy, I think. Is that right, Lee?
Yep.
So he's got something about him. I've heard he's decent, he's strong. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Obviously, Mienda needs help, and Isidor's a bit of an injury at the moment, so I don't know how long Isidor's out for. So we do need it there. So 2 centre backs, this striker, and obviously I think another versatile winger, so that we got covered on both sides. But I'll be happy for a right-sided player. We've only got really 1 right back. Now, again, Huggins is a right back, but whether or not he's good enough for the Premier League, we're just going to hope he is. So, yeah, basically, I would say another 4 players.
Right, okay. Dino, what do you think we need to complete our transfer window?
Centre back, right back, potentially another winger who can probably play on both sides just to give you that option, and maybe another goalkeeper.
And you think that'll be that should see us all right then, yeah?
Yeah.
Lee?
Well, the Chelsea lad, I just want to get his pronunciation so everyone knows how to pronounce his name. It's Mark Guiu.
Guiu. Is it Giui or something?
Yeah, so people have been saying Gui, but it's Mark Guiu. He's a Catalan Barcelona forward.
Mark Guiu.
Guiu, yeah. He played in the Club World Cup, didn't he, for Chelsea? He made his debut for Barcelona against actually Athletic Club Bilbao, and he scored after 30 seconds. Played through on a through ball, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he slotted it home. So he looks like that. He could be a good finisher. And as Terry said, that there's no option to buy. It's just like a straight loan. So yeah, he could be a good option. But my worry up front is that yesterday I was watching the match. When you've got Mienda there, Mienda plays better when he's got the ball at his feet and he's running at defenders. Holding the ball up with his back to goal, he's not very good. And same as Isidore. Isidore gets pushed off quite easily, and Isidore plays on the shoulder of the last man and likes through balls. So we're kind of missing that, a forward who can hold the ball up and help us maintain up the field. You know what I mean? When Xhaka plays a ball or someone plays the ball to feet. But anyway, back to Xhaka, actually. He played a good through ball yesterday over the top to Dingu, who scored this loud goal, which was good. And then, obviously, I think we need 2 centre-backs because I wouldn't like the idea of Jensen Seelt being one of the options because he's been injured for the best part of 2 seasons. So I think we need a replacement for him, for Mepham. Elise is not going to be fit until September, October. And a forward. So I would say 3 players, Philly. I would say a forward and 2 centre-backs.
Right, okay. I'm going to bring Terry in and then you, Dino, just very quickly. We've got to say hello to hashtag Hounslow, who is in Venezuela. So thanks for tuning in there. And Be Like Nike says, I like the new home top. Looks good. Dino, what do you think of the new home top?
I'm honestly, when I bought it, I'm just not getting with it. I don't like the black around the badge. I don't like everything centrally. I'm from that generation where everything's on the sides. I don't.
Dino, just tell the truth. Tell the truth. They don't do it in 6XL, and that's why you don't like it. All right. Terry, you was one in, then I'll bring Dean back in.
Yeah, I think Xhaka is exactly what Mienda needs. I saw some promising through balls yesterday, and I think when he gets his range sorted out and Mienda's on there, it gets the wavelengths right, I think he could supply them through balls for Mienda running to the defenders. So that just needs more time. But yeah, that Jew, what do you call him? Do you say Q? Q. Yeah, he could be a good prospect coming up. So. But like I said, we definitely need 2 centre-backs because we are definitely... Ballard has had a lot of injuries over the past as well. He seems at the moment, touch wood, to be not keeping the injuries at bay, which is good, I like to say. That hopefully he's over his injuries. So we need 2 decent centre-backs. Maybe he's a young one and maybe he's one with that bags of experience.
Hugh Pugh, Barney McGrew, isn't it? Something like that anyway. Dino hasn't got a clue because he's far too young. Dino, you was one in there?
Yeah, you know what? One thing what does worry me at the minute, the fact that we're not selling players. We look like we're struggling to offload some of these players, like the likes of Barr, Pembele, Rujan. I mean, Lesic's still here. I thought he was meant to go on loan a while ago. It's a bit worrying that we're bringing all these players in and no one's leaving. So we can say, the model's great. But look at all the players who haven't worked, and there's a few of them, and no one wants to even buy or loan them.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dino, it's it's not. I'm sure the club, it mustn't be a problem to the club because if it was, it would be a case of we've got to sell this one before we can buy that. So it doesn't really matter if we, I'm sure they've got it in hand, and if they're still there, they're still there. We can get rid of them fine. It's not like they've been in a position where we have to sell before we can buy. Terry?
I may be wrong, but I couldn't imagine likes of Barr and Rushan being on long contracts. I mean, sure, they'd be running out soon anyway, get rid of them anyway by just saying bye-bye.
I think it was only Al-Shish. Al-Shish was on like a 5-year deal, but I think the others were like 3 years.
Well,
they've been here for a while now, haven't they?
But he's on loan, so that's all right. Al-Shish is on loan, so that's all right. But you don't want these players festering round all the lads like with negative vibes and negative energies because that's what can spoil the dressing room. Players who are just because you don't know if they're going to be around the place or in the first team dressing room or what. But you don't want players like Barr. I don't know what he's like personally, but I could imagine him being a little bit of a sulky lad. But I mean, you want to get these players who aren't going to play out on loan or out so they're not around the place because when you're not, as a footballer, when you're not playing, I guarantee some of them can be really arsey and you don't need them.
I can't imagine them being on big wages or just pay the contract off, get rid of them.
I mean, to be honest, I'd like to think the club will have that in hand. Any bad apples will be out the door and, training with the kids and whatever it takes. I'm sure that will be the case. Look, we've only got just over 6 minutes or so. So I quickly want to do this, and then I want to get a prediction from you. So, who of our current squad then do you think has got a chance of featuring in the Premier League? And that means getting a game in our. They're all going to be squad players. But which one of the players, or 2 or 3 of them, do you think have got a chance of getting a start, Lee?
I out of the current lot, from last season, Trey Hume and Dan Ballard.
Yeah, right. Dino?
Them two, 09, Huggins, and possibly Mundle, and Roberts.
Right, okay. Terry?
Yeah, Ballard, Hume, Mundle when he's fit. I think probably look 09 to get some game time over the season because he's very versatile if you need him, obviously with injuries and stuff. And I think he'll probably, out of all the players, and possibly Dan Neil might get a bit of a squeak if he signs a contract. But apart from that, Mienda, Isidore, they'll get game times. Rig might get some game time at some point when he gets more experience. Sirkin, cover for Mandava. So yeah, them players.
Is Rig injured? Is Rig injured? Because he hasn't even been part of anything really, has he? Is he injured?
Yeah.
All right.
I think there's him, Sirkin, and 09. Well, there's Sirkin, 09, Elise won't be fit until September. Rig was supposed to be fit in the next few weeks. So.
Right. Okay. So, big spenders is what we are, and everybody's loving it. I mean, it's like I say, his comments are certainly a shock to me, and everybody I've spoken to have said this is not Sunderland, and it's not, and it's brilliant. And like I say, a round of applause and praise, goes to the club for giving it a go. So whatever happens this season, hats off to them, and it's exciting. I mean, I would at the start of the season, I was like, if we finish 17th. I'll be over the moon, absolutely over the moon, staying up. If we finish 17th now, I'll be disappointed. I really will. So, what are your predictions? Where do you think we're going to finish? Dino, what do you reckon?
Well, I keep forgetting about this point. African Cup of Nations, that's going to be a big thing for us because
Dino, you've always got to put it down on, haven't you?
No. That could change our season. We could be flying and them go, and then that could ruin our season because I'm sure there's about 6-7 players there, African Cup of Nations. But for me, I say is before all the signings that would finish bottom with less points than Southampton. But now I'm going to say we'll finish 18th.
What, still go down?
Yeah.
Oh, Dino, really? Right, fair enough. Emma, whose husband works at the airport, by the way. So Rick's car was spotted at the airport, so he's on his jollies, apparently. Whatever. Lee, what are you saying? What's your prediction for the Premier League?
I mean, I'm going to go on the cautious side, so I'm going to say 14th. But I think we do have the potential to go a bit higher if everything clicks.
Well, I'll take a cautious 14th, definitely. Terry, what are we saying?
Yeah, well, according to Dino, we won't miss Talby because we have Robertson there, so that's okay for the African Cup of Nations. Mundle will be back for Adingra. Siddiqui Diarra, where we got Lefay, we got Xhaka, we got Dan Neil. Because of Dan Neil's obviously okay, according to Dean, so they'll be fine. So basically, African Cup of Nations are perfectly fine. So basically, I think top 10. We get 2 centre-backs, a good striker, and another player kicking the ball on the wing, top 10.
Yeah, we'll win the league. We'll win the league with our lemon, won't we? We'll win the league.
Right, okay, come on. Get your dummy back in. Right, I'm going top 10. I am definitely going top 10. I just think my only worry is the team. It's a completely new team, and that's the only thing. I'd like to think we already had a spine or something like that, but we've got all these new players coming in. So, but other than that, listen, top 10 for me, definitely top 10, and I'll be disappointed if we don't. But it's exciting. I'm sure we can all not wait for this first game against West Ham. It's going to be the atmosphere is just going to be tremendous. It is. It's going to be like that second leg game against Coventry. It's just going to be. So it's going to be tremendous. So it's exciting times. So that just about wraps it up. The Sunday Bunch. We are back now every Sunday, 7:30. Tune in for that. Thanks to everybody for watching on my computer. I'm on 122 likes. Woohoo! And I'm sure it's even more than that. So still give us a like. Don't forget, If you're not subscribed to the channel, it's free to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button, and that does help us as well. Right, well, we've got to go. So, Dino, would you just like to say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Bye, you know. All right. Terry?
Well, bye, everybody. Enjoy your lovely week at work.
And Lee, as we always do, in Spanish.
Here we go. Vamos. Bueno, personas, gente, buena semana. Nos vemos en 2 semanas en el Stadium of Light contra el West Ham United. Vamos! And I said, Philly, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
No.
Oh,
You
come on.
said-
What are we going to do now?
I'll translate for you because I'm
Go on
fluent.
then.
You said you're
Yeah.
coming over to Sunderland to the Stadium tonight for the West Ham game. Did you say that?
Because I told you before, didn't I? Fair. Yeah.
No, listen. So if you're at the game and you bump into Lee, say hello to him. Say hello to Lee because he's coming over all the way from España. And just before we go on the chat here, just for you, Dino, Steve G says, Dino, you've got it spot on.
As I always do.
And John Nesbitt says, Dino, chill out, man.
And I hope not, because we're getting relegated because of Dino.
Right.
But the thing is, if we get relegated, I'm right. But obviously, it's a bad thing. But it means I was right. So,
Right. Okay, then. Look, listen, thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. And if you're a member of the channel, then watch your name in the credits at the end. Thanks very much. Terry's away anyway. See you later. Bye-bye.